What's up guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're pretty much going to go over the 3 things. You have a mobile mechanic business or just an auto shop in general. We're going to go over the 3 things that you must have in place in order to have protection for yourself. You want to have protection for yourself because unfortunately there are customers out there that will take advantage of that situation. And if you don't have those protections in place, it can end up costing you, actually cost you a lot. Now the 3 things you're going to want to have at least in place if you have a mobile repair shop, or you're a mobile repair business, or if you have an automotive repair shop. So the first thing you're going to want is to have at least some sort of, the sun's in the camera there. There we go, we good. The first thing you're going to want is some sort of contract or some sort of agreement with the customer. Something that they have to sign. Most states, before you work, you actually have to have the customer sign an estimate that they agree on. You have to give the price up front. Certain states don't do that. We're based out of New Jersey, so with New Jersey, we actually have to have the customer authorize the repair prior to us turning a wrench. That doesn't include the diagnostic. Obviously, if a customer drops off a car, or if we go to a car, then they agree upon the diagnostic. But yeah, what you'll want is some sort of customer agreement in place, separate from the work order that they sign. This is to cover you based on your terms. If they sign it, they're agreeing to your terms and how you conduct your business. Now, I'm not saying like if the customer doesn't pay, you have the right to repossess their car, take possession and sign the title over. I'm not saying that. Every contract has to abide by your state law. So while it abides by your state law reigns supreme over your contract, meaning if your contract oversteps the state law, your contract is void. So at least in New Jersey, that's how it goes. Again, check your state local laws in order to make sure that you're informed about your business and you can make the proper decision. Also, refer to a lawyer. I am not a lawyer, however, I am a paralegal student. So, with that being said, you always want an agreement in place. Customer has to sign that, and that essentially says, I agree. I'm giving you my car to work on. I agree of the terms and conditions that you put forth, and that I just want my car fixed. Please do it. So that's already 2 signatures, at least for me. For our company, that's already 2 signatures. They have to sign on the. Oh, hold on! Look at this. Beautiful truck. I see him pass by through here all the time. So that means, at least with us, there's already 2 signatures. There's the estimate that they have to sign and approve. There's also the customer terms and conditions that they have to sign in order for me to even go out there or for me to even perform any work. But you need that agreement in place. As far as making one, I mean, you can type it up in Word. As far as like having it sound legal, I would just type it up so that way the terms are clear. Like when we finish work, pay us. Or plastic parts break because of the age of the car, we're not responsible for that. We'll generate an estimate for new parts or replacement parts for that. Stuff like that. Explain your charges. If you do charge shop supplies, some people don't. If you do charge shop supplies, you'll want to add that. You want to add that into the terms. The last thing you want to do is charge a customer and not have it in the terms, as far as like what specific charge that is, because it can be disputed. The customer could say, I didn't agree to that. That's not in the terms. And then you're left holding the bag because you also didn't put it in the terms, and you can't say, well, I felt like it. It's not really going to fly. Ultimately, the price you're charging, if the price is agreed upon during if the price is up front and the customer agrees upon it, that's the bare minimum. But again, this video is about covering your ass, not the bare minimum. So have a contract in place, have terms and conditions in place, have a warranty in place. You want to outline your warranty and what your warranty covers. Because if you just say like, yeah, it's covered, that is a very open door for things that can possibly not be related to the repair that you did. For example, if you changed a transmission line, naturally transmission fluid will come out, you'll have to add transmission fluid, and 2 weeks later or so, 3 weeks, however long, the transmission may go out, you know? No fault of your own, possibly. No fault of your own. And now the customer's going to come after you saying, ever since you did my transmission lines, my transmission went. Now who's on the hook? Because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court, right? So that is really where you need to be covered. Contract, outline your terms of your warranty. So, third thing you're going to want to have covered is a chargeback protection. And what I mean by this is we use Square. Square has their own chargeback team. You upload your documents pre ahead of time. You don't have to have any chargebacks, but you upload your documents pre ahead of time. This includes your contract. This includes your warranty, your terms and conditions. This includes your business information to tell Square that you're legitimate, that you're a real business, you're registered with the state. They move the menu around constantly, so I wouldn't even begin to tell you where it is. But if you go onto Square, if you're a Square user, you already know, at least I hope you do, where it is. If you're not a Square user, I will put my referral code in the description. Recommend it if you are a business, if you are a legitimately registered business. I would recommend using Square. I've used Stripe. It's cool. I don't mind it. I use Square because it has the appointment calendar. Stripe is cool if you need a backup platform. PayPal is good if you need a backup platform. We have accounts with those just in case. PayPal's good if you want to offer that to your customers. We use it for customer financing. But I digress. Going on a tangent here. Chargeback protection. So you want to have all of that information in your account, right? If you have all that information in your account, that covers you. At least, that'll give you the initial protection that you need. So if someone comes up, if someone charges back their repair, Square will automatically fight for you, at least in that respect. Now, to do extended chargeback protection, what we do, and this is what you should do too, take pictures and document everything. Document everything. If it's an oil change, document it. If you get there, there's no oil in the engine. No oil in the engine. You get there's no oil in the engine. You take a picture of the dipstick before you touch anything, and you advise the customer. You make a note that you advise the customer. The customer says, okay, that's fine, cool, whatever, great, that's why you're here, right? Whatever, as long as you advise the customer and there's a note about it. Perform the oil change. If you drain the oil and there's nice glitter, if there's glitter in the oil, I would make a note of it, document it, take a picture, advise the customer again. At this point, you should be saying there's no warranty. If there is an issue with this engine further from this point, it is not because of this oil change. In fact, the oil is probably helping it because now there's oil in the engine. That's what I would do. Take pictures of everything. Before you even begin, take 4 pictures of the car, 4 corners. Outline any scratches, dents, dings. Outline any of them. Outline any lights out. Outline if there's any tires flat. Stuff like that. All the basics. Pretty much do a 50-point inspection when you do the car. If you're doing brakes, take pictures of the old brakes, take pictures of the old pads, take pictures of the new parts, take pictures of the new pads, take pictures of the new parts installed on the car, and then take picture of the car when it's done. The reason why you take a picture of the car when it's done is because it's time-stamped. Everything is time-stamped. You want to be able to refer back to photos, right? And this can be used also internally. You want to see how long it took you to do the job. You want to be able to know that for efficiency reasons. But for evidence, in case a customer does charge back, you have all that evidence that you need in order to tell the credit card company, hey, this guy authorized this with the 2 signatures from earlier. This guy authorized this. I was here. You can use an app to GPS stamp your location. We use Device Magic. I'm going to put everything that you need. I'm going to put everything you need in the description. We use Device Magic. We can make GPS stamped forms. We make a check-in form saying, hey, we're here, this is it. Verify the license plate. Verify the car that you're working on. And then that form gets sent to me, or it gets sent to the mailbox that holds the forms. So when the credit card asks for more information, now you have that form that says you were there on this date at this time. You have all the photos with time stamps. You have pictures of the old parts, the new parts on the car, and you also have the completed receipt that's signed by the customer. So now, technically, that's 3 signatures. You have 3 signatures, a minimum of 30 photos, and now the customer is going to try and do a chargeback, right? So, but that's what I'm saying. That's how you cover yourself. Now I know some mobile techs. Let's take a walk around. It's too beautiful to just stand here. So I know some mobile techs that actually take a deposit. I'm not really a big fan of that because unfortunately the mobile technician or the mobile mechanic industry has a certain stigma against it, thanks to Craigslist, thanks to uncertified mechanics, and thanks to the mechanics that just quite frankly fly by night, I guess that would be. It's those mechanics that really just screw it for the rest of us. But anyway, I know some mechanics that actually take a deposit. For large jobs, like if you're doing engine work, transmission work, anything large, setting a threshold, that's up to you. Our threshold for large jobs for deposits is over 1,000. We'll require a deposit for over large jobs, and that's primarily just to cover the cost of parts. Just so that way we're not out parts, and if we do have to restock, like if we do have to return those parts, we're not eating the restocking fee. If the customer decides to cancel the job afterwards, I've had that happen. So the deposits thing, that's up to you. As far as covering yourself with payments, this is going to end up being like a 5 things that you need, or like 10 things that you need instead of like 3. So, but yeah, as far as payments, like customers paying you, I wouldn't really accept cash. I personally don't accept cash. I'll accept it. Like a customer has cash, sure. It's not our primary payment method. We book appointments requiring a credit card or a debit card. They require a card. Every appointment requires a card, and the reason for that is if I get there, or if I'm on my way there, all of a sudden I get I forgot my kid's soccer game. Like if I'm there waiting for 15 minutes and there's no car there, the car's not there that I'm supposed to work on, and I'm calling the customer, and I've had this happen too. And all of a sudden I'll get a text saying, oh yeah, just kidding, we don't need it. I just sat there for 15 minutes, waiting. So, we charge a cancellation fee for that. In order to get that cancellation fee, we run the card. This goes back into your contract about return, cancellation fees or no-show fees. This goes about your chargeback coverage, where If you have all of that in place and it's in your contract, then the customer can't charge back that $30. We charge $30. I wouldn't really go anything higher than that. I would assume the cost that it would take for you to pay someone waiting there, and maybe 10% of the mileage that it would take to get there. For us, it's about $30. 15 minutes. Minimum on site we stay is 30. Again, GPS forms, this is where that all comes into place again. So just to recap, the 3 things that you will need to cover yourself if you want to start a mobile repair company. You want an ability to get paid and stay paid. So eliminating chargebacks before they happen. The last thing you want to deal with is a chargeback. I've been in business since 2013. I've only dealt with 2 chargebacks. Chargebacks are the worst. They are the worst to deal with, because the credit card company, while it tries to remain indifferent, you're not their customer. The customer that, well, what they would call the card holder in a dispute, that's their customer. They fight for the customer. So the inherent bias is already there, where they're going to fight for the customer. They don't care what you're doing. You see what I mean? So chargebacks are the worst. You don't want them. So stop chargebacks before they happen. Make sure you have a contract in place to cover you, and also make sure you have a warranty. 3 things. Now I know there's subparts in that. I know you could say, "Oh, Mike, what about insurance?" That's obviously another thing that you would need. These are the top 3 things before you even get into it. Because insurance is going to want to see insurance doesn't particularly care. Insurance wants to see experience, that you know what you're doing. Like if you just decided to wake up one day after working 10 years in retail or whatever industry, you say like 10 years in whatever industry, and you say like, yeah, I want to fix cars. The insurance company's probably going to look at you and say, do you know how? And you're going to say, well, I saw a YouTube video, so it can't be hard, right? Anyway, they're going to look at you and say, no. So, insurance is on the list. It's to cover you, but you want your basic 3 in place. You want to be able to have cash flow secured incoming, and you want to be able to protect that. That's more or less the purpose of this video. You want to be able to protect your cash flow incoming, so you can pay for more important things as well, or you can pay for important things as well, such as insurance, a truck, fuel, advertising. Obviously you have to cover your tax bill and do all that. I'll probably outline those in another video. I'm not going to do that right now. This is just the 3 things. So I hope you found this information helpful, and if you did, please like the video, comment when you thought about it, if I was missing anything, or if you feel that the 3 things I gave aren't as important, and you feel that there are other things that top that list, the top 3 things, comment below. I want to read them. I am going to read every comment on here, or at least try to, and try and respond, But like the video, help the algorithm, and share this to people that may be starting a business, or starting an auto business, starting a mobile business, starting some type of automotive type business or repair business where this could be beneficial for them. Again, I'll have all the links below on everything I discussed, and be able to help you further on that. Again, take care, guys.